Hello friends, it's me, Vivian. Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, also known as the Chatty Pen Pal channel. I completely forgot how to do my intro. But anywho, we're here today with a new pen pal with me. I'm going to make the flip book that you saw me show in the beginning of the clip. I'm sorry, I need a little bit of time to get back into doing voiceovers, I suppose, but I'm just gonna go with it. I am following a tutorial. You can see I just showed you the notes I made from a video from Pink Strawberries. I follow her tutorial, but kind of like loosely, because I don't really like following someone's complete tutorial. So I think I don't recall if I used her measurements. If I did, I messed it up, which you will see in just a second. But basically, this project is inspired by her video, and I will link it down below so that you can find the exact tutorial. So I messed up my measurements, which you can see because it doesn't close properly. Like, one of the flaps is larger than the other, but I decided just to roll with it because I didn't want to start all over again. You know, we make mistakes. It's not perfect, but it will do, I suppose. I'm just going to pause the video here because it's going too fast for me. Okay, I slowed it down a bit so that I can still talk. The reason why I am covering up all the back is because, of course, my paper is single-sided. I printed this myself. There's this website called AC Digitals, and I purchased a digital collection, which you can then print yourself as many times as you like. I purchased this collection called Garden Shoppe from Paige Evans. Believe it or not, but this is actually fall themed. You will see some fall elements later on. So I purchased that, and I printed that on like regular printer paper. Some of them are thicker, such as the paper I used for the cover and for the pocket, which I will show you later on, and some of the pages I printed on just regular printer paper, such as the ones I'm using here. So I made 4 little pockets, just simple pockets, just glue down, like fold a piece of paper in half and glue down the sides to create a simple pocket opening from the top. I also used a circle punch to take out half a notch, and then I realized you can't actually see it, so I'm doing it again. And what I'm doing here is I'm creating a mini accordion folder. I honestly forgot if she does this in her original tutorial, but I just really like this idea. I think she did, but maybe she did it differently. This is just how I make a mini accordion folder, basically. So what you do is you create these pockets. You can do 2, you can do 3, you can do 4 like I did, or you can even do more, but that might make it a little bit bulky. And then what you do is you glue, as you can see, an upside down T. So you glue down the middle one line, and then at the bottom to create an upside down letter T, a capital T. And then you glue them together. And the reason why you do it in this way is so that the pockets are still open, like an accordion. You will see that in a second. If you would have glued them down entirely, like glue down the entire thing on top of the next pocket, then it would have been a lot more difficult to open. So this basically creates a fold out, or a pocket that you can pull out, and that has lots of space for goodies, which you will see me include in just a little bit later on in this video. And then what I'm doing here is I created the pocket, like a little box sized pocket for bulkier goodies, and I have this die. I don't recall where I got this from. I think it came in a bigger set of these butterflies, and I just die cut that in there because I thought it would add an interesting little touch, and I actually really like how it looks. So that's 3 little butterflies kind of like coming off of the page. This is what I mean with accordion folder. I have a full tutorial on how to do one of these on my channel. I have multiple. I think I will link one down below in case you're interested in trying it out. So this is just me adding some finishing touches to the base of the project, which is of course rounding the edges and gluing down the pocket and all of that. If you look closely, you can see that I backed the cover paper with different paper strips, but the paper strips that are on the back of it are not entirely covering up the back paper. I don't know if that makes sense. I just left a little bit of space, a little bit of white space around the pages on the inside of the flip book. I don't know if you can see that. I like the way that looks, and I also think that this makes it easier to close the flip book. Like if you would completely line up the papers, it might be getting a little bit bulky, but that is also a thing of preference. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm adding a little eyelet. She definitely does this in her tutorial as well, just to create kind of like an interesting look. I decided to go with pink because of course my pen pal absolutely loves pink. And then this is for my pen pal Cheryl. I don't think I've told you this yet, but it's for Cheryl who loves pink. And then I added some string underneath the eyelet to create kind of like a dangly effect with a butterfly. And then I'm also going to add these beads, just children's beads, children's crafting type beads to the other one to create kind of like a charm. I don't know what you would call this, but basically to create some more interesting look. The next thing I'm doing is I am creating some embellishments. My pen pal Cheryl, you've seen mail from her on my channel before. She always creates these incredible embellishments. She always includes so many handmade things, and I thought with this pocket having, or this flip book having so much pocket space, I thought I would return the favor and make some for her as well. So I die cut some of these like scalloped circles from both vintage book pages and from paper from the collection. I layered them with some foam tape, and I am going to decorate them with some of the die cuts. These die cuts are also, I purchased, like I said, the digital collection, and I printed them out, and then I cut them all out by hand. So that box you just saw filled with all of those die cuts, no, I did not buy all of them. I actually cut all of them out by hand. I knew that I wanted, when I saw this collection, I immediately knew I was going to use it for Cheryl, because like I said, she loves pink, and this is a fall themed collection, and I love fall crafting. As you could see on my channel, I have so many tutorials up already, and I have many more to come. But this collection could go for kind of all year round crafting, because the colors are not typically fall at all. You have some fall elements, you have a lot of leaves, you have some things like cozy things such as cups and mugs, and if you look in the top right corner you can see a little mug of hot chocolate and stuff like that. And then you have quote cards that, for example, say like fall themed sentences. But other than that, if you take all of those out, it could be a summer collection, it could be a spring themed collection. I think that's kind of fun. So yep, of course I'm adding some Nuvo drops to that. So when I saw this collection, I immediately knew it had to be for Cheryl because of the pink elements in there. I don't know why I started telling you that, but yeah, I cut all of them out by hand. What I'm doing here is I have this die from AliExpress. The one time I decided to return to AliExpress, and the die is faulty, like it doesn't match the front of the, this is a, what do you call this again? Like a, I don't recall, a specimen card. Yes, my brain came up with the answer, a specimen card, but the front of the specimen card does not line up with the back, so it's faulty. It's very annoying, so I just have to cut it by hand, which completely defeats the purpose of a die. But I'm making another embellishment, and I use this flower, which is kind of funny because we actually have them in the garden. So later on you will see me googling what is the name of this flower again. And then I add that onto the specimen card. But the reason why, okay, so I've always loved cutting out images, right? You see me use a lot of cut out images either from vintage books or like this one from these collections that I purchase and print. And I managed to print and cut a lot. First of all, because I knew that I wanted to create a project for my pen pal Cheryl with this. This is where I found the flower, which we had in our garden. I thought that was kind of cool. Because I knew that I was going to use it. And the second thing is because I was very anxious for many weeks. I created this back in September, and I'm sorry, this is going a little bit fast, but don't worry, you will see it at the end very slowly as well. So I've told you many times now that my life is kind of like in a big deal of change with my boyfriend moving to Belgium for work. And that made me anxious. Obviously, it still does. I don't like change. And when I feel anxious, I can't really craft, which sucks because I know that crafting helps my anxiety and my stress and everything so much. But I will just sometimes I will just sort of freeze, and I will be incapable of really creating anything or coming up with fun ideas. I will kind of like draw a blank the whole time. But one thing that I have found out that does really work for me, and that kind of feels like crafting but without like the creative element, sorry for my head, I have to make sure that the pockets are okay, is cutting out images. I absolutely love cutting out images. So that is obviously what I did here. I cut out a whole bunch. It was so relaxing, so much fun. It felt like crafting, but without the without thinking about it too much. So the Flower Girl stickers are, as always, from Hippie Post. You can purchase them on her website. I'm not sponsored, I was a patron of hers, so I have them, and I think it matches really well, especially with the card, which says, if friends were flowers, I would pick you, I think something along those lines. And then there is a cat, which I was also destined to use because Cheryl and I both love cats. So I knew I had to use the cat somehow. I already have a cat on the left page as well, on the little welcome mat. It was really funny cutting out these images because I was constantly thinking, yep, I'm gonna have to use this, yep, I'm gonna have to use that. So here you can see my decorating process a little bit more. I've also been filming videos where I don't really show the decorating process. Excuse me, I don't really show the decorating process, just the beginning stage of creating the base of the flipbook and then how I finished it. I don't know if that is something you guys would like, but sometimes I can worry about the camera and about having to be creative so much, and sometimes it's just really nice to sit and craft without thinking about that too much. So that's what I've been doing. I haven't uploaded any of them yet, but you know, I will in the future. So this felt kind of perfect, the cat looking up and then the bird house on the right. I thought that would be nice. So as you can see, I decorated the entire pocket or the entire inside of this flipbook in one sitting, which for me is kind of special because I overthink things a lot. Like, I will think too much and I will move things around for 7 hours. My patrons know this because we did a live stream the other day and we decorated 2 envelopes, which was really fun. If you've been thinking of joining the craft club and supporting my channel, you definitely can. We do fun things, like we did a live stream, which honestly had been quite a while. We did a live stream, but we do other things as well, such as swaps and sometimes extra videos and printables and stuff. So link is in the bio, in the description of this video if you would like to check that out. But I just basically spent 2 hours moving things around for the live stream, and then for this it all came together so naturally. I felt like I was in such a flow, I really enjoyed that a lot. I also did some decorating off camera, which is, for example, this layout. I just put these together and then I thought I would show you how I finished it. I took a picture because I learned that from Emma. Sometimes something will look so nice, and then when I start gluing everything together, I will forget which goes where and it won't look as nice anymore. So I took a picture to remember what it looked like. And then this is obviously just a bunch of flowers and leaves. I don't know, I really liked that. And then I have so many alpha stickers, but I always forget to use them. So I finally decided to add some that say Cheryl. Don't worry, we're not done yet. I'm also going to make an envelope for this. I also made that. I think I made that off camera, didn't I? Did I? I really think I did. I'm so confused. Okay, so anywho, I made a little banner flag banner, which is definitely fall themed. We have a little doggy, and then of course lots of leaves, and I thought that that would be cute for her to like hang in her space or just have for inspiration, so I added that as goodies. I also have those lovely enamel dots, still can't pronounce it after all those years, enamel dots, and I thought they added a lovely touch. By the way, I'm just realizing this now, but I'm actually doing my voiceover downstairs because it's very cold and downstairs seems to be the warmest. And I just realized that you might be able to hear my cat fountain in the background. Do you? You can hear like it sounds like a little bit like a waterfall, the water dripping. I hope you can't, but otherwise it might add a lovely extra relaxing touch to this video. So these are the goodies that I'm including, or at least a part. Of course, the 2 circle embellishments I made, and the specimen card, and then the little, what is it called, banner. Then I'm including some of these cards and the washi tape sample I showed you before, and of course a bunch of those girl stickers that I cut out, and then of course a bunch of elements from this lovely collection. I found out later that she actually has this collection herself, so I think I made the right call in thinking that she would like this these colors and these elements. But when I'm editing this, it has been on her desk. I messaged her to say, hey, did my mail arrive? Because it's always kind of scary. But she hasn't actually opened it yet. So Cheryl, you better have opened it before. I don't think she watches my videos. But you better have opened it before I upload this video. Otherwise, you're going to see a bunch of spoilers. But I think it will be kind of funny if she finds out that I have actually used the same collection that she is using. But yeah, I really like this. So we are now... This is just a little quick sneak peek. Don't worry, I'm going to show you more up close at the end, but we're also going to make the envelope. But basically, I was telling you about cutting out all of those images for relaxing purposes. I changed my nail polish. I make these projects, I think I worked on this for 3 weeks. If I look at like the video files, the first file was like on the 5th of September, and then the last one was at the end of September. So I worked on it for more than 3 weeks. Which is how I always do my bigger projects, so you can see my outfits change and my nail polish change and all of that. But basically, I've been doing well-ish. I've been doing okay. My anxiety is bad, but other than that, I'm still doing well. You could see if you looked, this is going very fast. Okay, I'm all over the place. We can finish one story first. First of all, it's going very fast because I filmed for over 3 hours. And if I would show you all of that more slowly, also the boring parts such as cutting my paper and stuff like that, then this video would last very, very long. And currently we're in a time where everything has to be fast. Like TikToks are 6 seconds and people can't really look at videos that are 7 hours long. So that's why it's going very fast. But you have to keep in mind that there is no perfect way for me to do my videos. Sometimes people are going to say they're too fast, and otherwise no one is going to watch them because they're too slow. I'm trying to find the perfect balance, but it's definitely not easy. But that's the first thing I said. The second thing I said is, if you looked closely at the very fast going clip, you could see that I actually put my project inside of this envelope opened. Because if I would close it, as you could see from the beginning, it would be very fat. And even we have like a very, our mail can go up to 3 centimeters thick, but that's still too big. So I actually opened up the project so that it would be flatter, which is a great tip I always give. I think that really works. So I opened it, I made an envelope to fit the project opened. Of course it won't be as fun when you receive it and it's open, but when you receive it you can just quickly put it together and then look at it the way it's intended to be looked at. So that's the second thing I said. But basically with my anxiety I've been doing lots of different things. I have actually been doing a lot of crafting lately again, but sometimes I just really won't feel in a crafty mood. But sometimes I craft, sometimes I do other things like cut out images. I've also recently started playing games again, which is really fun. I used to play games with my friends. We would play online and then we would be on Discord talking as well, which is just so much fun. I recently reconnected. I hadn't talked to these guys in like a year and a half or something, but we started playing games again and it's always the same. Like we could talk every day, or we could like not speak to each other for a year and a half and it still literally feels like I talked to them yesterday. So that has actually been really fun. I've really been enjoying that. It's a great way to be social without actually, sorry, someone is making noise outside, without actually leaving the house. So I've been finding things to bring joy despite feeling anxious. So that's actually been really nice. But like I said, sometimes crafting as well. I've actually made a whole bunch of fall themed projects. I just don't think that the crafting right now isn't the problem. Sending things out and finishing them is. Like writing the letter, going to the mailbox. For some reason, I just find that very difficult. So I feel like it's on and off with me. One time I will really like writing and not feel like crafting at all, and the next time I won't feel like writing or crafting. Now I really feel like crafting but just not finishing anything. So I have about 8 unfinished projects in my room and then about 3 more that are finished but could potentially be sent out. So I don't know, one day I will master this whole crafting and pen paling thing, but right now it's not that time. So that's a little bit of my story time. This is the envelope. I made a box-themed, what am I saying? I made a box-shaped envelope, which is great. I have a tutorial for that on my channel as well. I will link that down below. They're really fantastic for sending out bulkier projects because I have bubble wrap, bubble mailers, how do you call those things? Like the ones with bubble wrap inside. I have them, but I don't necessarily like using them because they still flatten the project and it's plastic, and even though I already have them, I don't like using them because of the plastic. So instead I just like making box envelopes because you can do paper, which is great. So this is me finishing up the project and putting some stamps on it. If you receive mail from me in the upcoming weeks, you will actually see December stamps, because in December we can use December stamps for a reduced price, which is great. So we'll be using lots of those if I ever do finish the mails that are on my desk. So here are all the goodies, or some of the goodies I made. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. You can give this video a thumbs up, leave a little comment. Like I said, people nowadays really do like shorter videos. So it's difficult for me because I'm not like going along with that trend. My videos are still very long. So I would very much appreciate it if you would show this video some love, maybe share it with friends, because I can use all of the interaction or the help I can get in promoting my videos. Of course, you can find me on all of the socials on Instagram and Patreon. A big thank you to my patrons, which are shown here on screen. You guys are all awesome, and I look forward to seeing what more we can create. Okay, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye!